This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, West Alabama, Internet World. How we doing today on this Friday? Oh, it's not a football Friday. Football's over. Oh, for quite some time. That's okay. We're going to get you through it right here on the Joe Gaither Show. We're going to have a lot of fun in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. All you guys are watching us on Amazon, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at Joe Gaither 6, or you're watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel. You're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. The Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We appreciate everybody who subscribes, rates, reviews the show, all that great nonsense. We love you so much. We're going to have a lot of fun in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. We're right here off of McFarland Boulevard, just past the Tiger Rock on the left. You can find Derek and his team. They're upstairs waiting to talk all kinds of insurance with you right now. Call 205-758-3391. You need to have a local insurance agent. Why, you say? Oh, I've got the national number. It's fine. No. You need the local insurance agent who knows where to send your car when you've got some problems, who knows who to call to take out for your home repairs if your home runs into problems, people who can take care of you locally, and you don't have to call and wait some 800 number. And that's Derek Daniel and his team. 205-758-3391. They know the area. They live in the area. They care about the people in the area. That's you. So call 205-758-3391. Derek, like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. What are we going to do today, Mason Woods? You're following Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. I have college football playoff moves, SEC scheduling moves. Oh, more basketball hooey. What in the world will the basketball team find a defensive bone in their bodies this weekend? We want to talk about the Missouri Tigers. Dennis Gates asked the students to do something at the end of the game. They did it, and they got rewarded. We'll talk about the reward. Carson Beck and his callers, maybe. And an Alabama fan. Has an Alabama fan cursed the Crimson Tide?
Certainly seems that way.
Yeah, that's what's all on my note sheet today. Good morning, Mason. How are you doing? What's going on inside your mind today?
Ooh, not a whole lot this morning, honestly. You know, you got my mind running now. You know, I'm still up and moving a bit, but we're getting there. I'm excited to get into these topics today. We got some fun stuff to talk about. Happy to be here in the lovely Derek Daniel studio on a Friday morning.
How did recruiting rundowns go today? Yeah, I know you got them out for Vanderbilt.
This is the first week that it is no longer a standing recruiting.
Oh, okay. Well, so give us the update on Mason. What's the Mason Woods plan now?
Well, you know, we've shifted more to daily stories, kind of here and there. So we're going to be, we'll be hitting some things today after we get out of here. A couple guys lining up some visits, a couple guys naming some teams in their top whatever schools you want to call it now.
What do we know about this Chris Booker fella? Is he Tyler Booker's younger brother?
No, not that I'm aware of. Seems to be a pretty dang good player. I was watching his highlights last night, and I think it was, scrolling through Twitter trying to find clips and everything, and I think it was our friend Clint Lamb posted a clip of him. It is straight from the Blind Side movie when he shoves the kid 40 yards out of bounds and carries him up and over the fence. Like, you just see Booker just and he just carries the kid right off camera. And then you see everybody on the sideline like, what the hell's happening? It was really good. I'm very excited about him. I think he's going to be he's a dog.
Booker pedigree on the interior offensive lineman. We're losing our Booker. We're getting another one. All right, great. I'm excited about. Look,
he's playing the long game. He knows those jersey sales might be a little bit better.
52.
Mm-hmm.
You better, buddy, take that 52 as soon as you get on campus and make your NIL money for all the folks who are trying to support Tyler Booker. How do you divide that? Because the same sort of thing. Richard Young wearing the number 9. How do you divide between Bryce Young and Richard Young? Because I know that the former players are still getting are getting a cut of some, but it's not a lot. But
when one of the fans buys one, the website asks them, "Is this for Richard Young or Bryce Young?" You got to click a little box.
Dangerous. So if you didn't see it last night, Alabama gets a 2026 commit in Chris Booker, offensive lineman out of Georgia. Woohoo! 12 months away from December.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of time. A lot of time for him to still change his mind.
Yeah.
From everything I saw,
I'm 100% committed.
yeah, it does seem like he was extremely excited to make the announcement that it was Alabama specifically. I think he had Alabama very, very high on his list, was very, eager to commit to Alabama. So, like I said, obviously, I think he's a very talented player, so he will probably get a lot of attention in and throughout his senior year as it progresses. So, decisions may change, but right now, it certainly seems like he's pretty locked in.
Let's see what that NIL offer does over the next 8 months.
Yeah, it's especially difficult now. Trying to do anything with these prospects this far out because you just really you didn't know before, but now you really don't know.
Well, I DM'd you, Chris Booker, if you're watching the show today. I DM'd you, and I got the phone number that was listed on your profile. I don't know if it's still listed on your profile, but I will be texting you today since I haven't heard from you. We want to bring you on the show. Let's see how excited you are about the Crimson Tide. We did a bad job with the class of 25. We did a really good job with the class of 24 on this show. We probably had 12 of the 24s on our show, maybe 10, 12 of them. We only had one of the 25, Luke Metz.
We've only got 2 in 26 right now.
Right, so I know. So only 2 guys to hammer, only 2 guys to chase. Zion Gibson, his DMs weren't open, but if you know,
I believe he does follow me. I might be able to get a message.
Yes, definitely do that, Mason. Well, we want to put those connections to good use and see if we can't talk to these kids because that was something we did a bad job of in 25.
I really gotta ask Zion about the commitment ceremony and everything because it was very interesting because it was comprised of 4 different Instagram live streams that all kind of went. He started at 9, streamed for 30 minutes, nothing happened. Then he started again a half hour later, and it was just the same thing. It was them all kind of standing in front of a helicopter, which was really cool. Don't know where the helicopter came from, but then it cut off, and the next thing you know, we were in the gym or in the auditorium at the school. It was a good ceremony. Tennessee hat, throws it to the crowd and everything. It was good.
Take a big old stomp on the Tennessee hat.
That's what we need. I'm sure somebody out in the crowd maybe threw some hands at it, maybe tossed it in the trash after they caught it.
All right, college football playoff, because, again, we don't know much about these children. We're excited for you, Chris Booker. Absolutely. We'll see if you stick to that commitment. I mean, we hope that is what happens, just selfishly. But we know 10 months to go is a lot of time. We'll see what happens with you, sir. And congratulations. College football playoff. Oh, my gosh. I don't think I enunciated that very well at all. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Okay.
Unique New York. That was always my favorite.
That's right. I love that one too. College football playoff. Ross Dellinger, Yahoo Sports. Ross Dellinger, you are the man. We love your reporting. Absolutely. Ross Dellinger writing that the powers that be. What do you think? What do you make of this, Mason?
The powers that be.
Right. The Big Ten and the SEC. The Big Ten and the SEC. I mean, this article made it sound like it was a whole big collusion deal. Mm-hmm. We're the power brokers here. No. This is the SEC and Big Ten Invitational. We're going to go down to New Orleans. Was it for you think they're there for the Super Bowl, or they're there for Friday Night SmackDown tonight?
That's what it was.
Right. The Rock's going to be there.
They're there to smell what the Rock is cooking.
Can you smell? If you are a 1% wrestling fan, The Rock is confirmed for tonight's episode. No, I don't think they were there to watch The Rock or the Super Bowl. Maybe they were for the Super Bowl, but
they were just there to experience the lovely city of New Orleans.
The French Quarter. I mean, this first paragraph makes it sound like they were.
Really had me thinking about, man, I might have to hop on the train here in Tuscaloosa and ride it on over.
Yeah, the first paragraph of Dellinger's article makes it sound like they're all on vacation.
Yeah.
He goes, on the 23rd floor of the luxurious Windsor Court Hotel, guests can view the near 360-degree panorama of this fine city, the chocolate river that winds through it, the century-old building of the French Quarter and the towering oaks that line the famous St. Charles Avenue. Inside a room there Wednesday, atop this city and perhaps atop college athletics, leaders of the SEC and Big Ten gathered to explore some of the most significant issues in the industry.
It does such a good job setting up the attitude of the SEC Big Ten with the "Ooh, look at us! We've gathered everyone together today on our own accord to discuss these problems."
And maybe that wasn't the voice that Ross was trying to use, but boy, that's what it came out like.
I like it. It makes it to me. It really paints this picture that the SEC and Big Ten think of them, and I truly believe that they do think of themselves as just the bee's knees. They think they are head and shoulders above everyone else. Which, let's be honest, they are.
We don't need you, Big 12. You homeless ACC.
One of my
Get your
favorite
riffraff
things
out of here, Mountain West.
The CFP Management Committee, the 10 FBS conference commissioners, and Notre Dame. What about BYU? Or the Service Academy? They're independent too. What about
Notre Dame represents all of our interests.
Oh yes, of course.
If Notre Dame, the independent, can make it, we all can make it. Their independent rules. Look, they know that they're just noise.
BYU's in Big 12 now, aren't they? I forgot that.
Yeah, they are. But they know that it's just noise.
Mm-hmm.
If Notre Dame will go secure our deal. We don't, Air Force, Navy, we don't need to be involved in this. Notre Dame will secure our position as an independent.
I certainly think that the SEC and the Big Ten, Mr. Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey have maybe been sharing some emails, some late night phone calls with each other, discussing some things, maybe some secret meetings.
Was it just 3 SEC teams that made it? No, it was 4. It was Georgia, Texas. Ole Miss was out.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Texas, Tennessee. Duh.
Yeah, it's so forgettable. They got completely stomped.
Yeah, getting destroyed. Alabama wasn't. LSU wasn't. That was it, right? No Florida. No. I'm missing somebody. I'm missing somebody, and it's going to be dumb. No Missouri. No Alabama. No Auburn. No Ole Miss. No Mississippi State. No Arkansas. No Texas A&M.
No, we had Clemson, Texas, Arizona.
It's just
State.
the 3. That's why. So that's why. So Greg Sankey said, "Where's my 4th team?"
Mm-hmm.
He said,
"They said we had Alabama, South Carolina, Missouri.
This injustice must be solved."
He's disgusted. He called up Mr. Big Ten and he said, "Hey, you're a little upset too, right?"
They had Michigan. They had Ohio State, Oregon,
Penn State,
and Indiana. Yeah, right. So they did get the 4.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This was a
man,
whole.
I bet he wishes that his 8-1 team hadn't had to play each other though. Ohio State and Oregon playing each other in the quarterfinals was crazy.
Yeah, that's what this article gets into, and that's actually the meat of this article, because I think Dellinger kind of insinuates that it sounds like they talked about structural changes, and I think that the Big Ten and the SEC are going to try to use their power to make sure that both conferences get 4 teams in, no matter what. But the issue is you got to get everybody's approval right now, because things are under contract and everybody's got to be unanimous. So the one thing that I think that will get movement in Ross Dellinger does right about it right here is reseeding the selection. And Mason, you just hit on it with Oregon and Ohio State meeting right there early. The seeding was messed up.
Yeah,
you can argue the 12, Alabama this, South Carolina that, if you want to. That's fine. I don't really care about having those arguments. I'll just say you're right. It's fine.
We had those arguments,
right? I do think there's a serious need to make sure that it is seeded properly next year, as soon as next year, because it was not seeded properly this year. What'd you have? Arizona State, your 4 seed. Get the bleep out of here. Seriously, get out of here. You had a good team. Yeah, you gave us a good game against Texas. Thank you for that. But you were a 10, 11, 12 seed. It's fine. I'm not bumping you out of this party, but you're at the back of the line in this party. I'm sorry.
Should be.
Should be, for sure.
We're, I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be hard for the Big Ten and the SEC just to.
It is, yeah, because what's the ACC's incentive to vote for this?
In this article from Ross Dellinger, the Big 12 commissioner says outright, I don't have any appetite to give up any financial reward that comes with the bye. Speaking of the $8 million that a team gets just for getting that bye. And you know how you get that bye? Is you get one of those top seeds. You know how you get one of those top seeds right now is you win your conference. Changing all of this up is...
Why don't you just give the conference winners the $8 million and say, sorry, Charlie, we're reseeding it for the sake of this board?
That seems like a fine
option. Congratulations, you won your conference. Here's your financial reward. Boom, you're in. You are an AQ.
That works.
You're in the 12.
They're gonna have to figure something out because none of these teams are gonna give up that $8 million potential.
True. And you should. They should. If this was an Arizona State show, we would be saying we ain't giving that up. And you should.
For the health of the sport, though, something has to be changed with the seeding. Because we, like you said, we can't have Ohio State, Oregon playing each other in the second round of the playoff. I mean, those were the two best teams in the playoff, pretty much.
Right.
That should have.
We had a good final, but Ohio State, Oregon might have been a little better final.
I think it would have.
You can always call 205-462-7340, extension 800, if you want to get involved in the show, talk about college football playoff expansion or not. It sounds like the expansion is going to happen. Probably not for this year, but it seems like 12 to 14 is going to happen very, very soon.
Not for this. I'm not.
No, I'm not either. But the other part of this article to me, Mason, that made me really happy. Really, really, really happy. Please do this. Please. SEC, buck up a little bit and do this. Ross Dellinger writes that the SEC is strongly considering finally getting with the times and going to a 9-game conference schedule. Please.
Make it 10.
That's what Nick Saban will always ask for, 10, so that they can negotiate it down to 9.
I would like 10, honestly.
Yeah, well, 10 would be perfect.
The 10 would be sweet. And then you make everybody get 2 good non-conference games.
Well, if it were 10, I wouldn't care if you got the one Mercer game.
No, but I still don't want to see it.
I mean, I don't want to see it. I'd rather you play.
But yeah, I'll give you a little more. I would definitely have a little more slack for you if you were playing 10 SEC
10 conference games, 1 Power 4 opponent. You go do whatever the heck you want with the 11th.
Like, man, we poo-poo on the 2020 season because,
it was great.
That was some of the best football. I know Alabama just slaughtered everyone, but the rest of the SEC was extremely competitive with itself. It was so much fun just watching a pure SEC slate. I would personally, I think it would be a very fun idea to just forego any non-conference games, just have all teams play in conference and have the winners of each conference play each other. Because it's like, nobody knows what these styles are going to look like. But I don't think we'll ever get that because there's too much money with the non-con games.
Well, that and the Mississippi States of the world say, we can't get to a bowl game if all we play is SEC teams.
Let's suck it up.
Exactly.
Maybe go play in the AAC or whatever.
Or what happens is we reduce our bowl games. We send better teams to bowls.
That's what needs to happen. You need to win 8 games to get to a bowl.
Or we get more DEI and Mississippi State doesn't go, but Coastal Carolina goes to a bowl game because they won the 7 games in their conference.
There we go.
Everybody gets the trophy. So I'm happy.
Bring on 9 games.
That's the real news here, and that's what might affect your life coming up very soon. It seems like the 2025 schedule obviously is locked in, that sort of thing. But you got to go to 9 games to. Last year's argument with the SEC was our league is better than your league, so our losses should count less. Which I was behind that megaphone, but you don't have as much of a leg to stand on when you're playing 8 games and the Big Ten's playing 9, and I'm pretty sure the Big 12 is playing 9. ACC is playing 9. And, of course, yes, we can all watch the SEC and see, wow, this league is really rough. But they look down on they look down their noses at us when they say, well, you're not playing 9 games. People talk about it is all about getting to that bowl game. The Mississippi States, the Arkansas of the world. Guys, come on. We need to stop making decisions for.
Get
Stop making decisions for the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16th team in this league, and start making decisions for the 1 through 8 in this league.
Yeah, I at some point, and all of this is going to come to a head. I think very sooner than later. But it's just at some point, I think we will eventually we'll have to see the the big boys separate themselves from everyone else and kind of create their own thing a little bit. I don't know exactly what that will look like, but 25 years from now, I don't know that we'll necessarily see Alabama and Mississippi State playing in the same kind of division.
Yeah, you'll have the best teams in the Big Ten and the best teams in the SEC all going into some super conference. Right, exactly. And people will cry and moan about, the death of college football. But
what are they going to call it? It'll just be the football conference.
The college Super League or something. But you know what they're going to do on Saturday when Alabama plays in that college Super League? Click, watch the TV.
Bingo.
Go Roll Tide!
Exactly.
So it'll all work out, but it's definitely changing.
It is changing.
And we'll see what happens next in the college football world. You want to stay in football and talk about these spring games?
Let's do it.
Texas canceling their spring game. Mm-hmm. Who else did I see? Was it Southern Cal? Was it USC? It was Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Nebraska and Texas. I know Texas. There was a second team. I don't have it written down.
I'm pretty sure Boston College is also not doing one. I've seen that in my writings for the Eagles.
Go Eagles.
I think Missouri, it's a bit up in the air. I'm not 100% sure if they're doing one or not. They've not released any kind of schedule from what I've seen. So it seems like a lot of teams are maybe shifting toward this.
Well, I got to take that I saw yesterday that I wanted to quote tweet and get into, but I thought it would be better to bring it to the show. And I will tell this person that I talked about them so that they can respond appropriately because they are my friend. Wyatt Fulton had a take from Tide 100.9. Definitely look, listen to Wyatt's show 11 to 12 on 100.9. Was it T-Town Sports Daily? Definitely check him out. He's writing about or on the Twitter machine about the spring games and goes, "This is wrong. These schools need to have this is a paraphrase, total paraphrase. These schools need to have a spring game." And he said, Alabama. He's kind of insinuating that Alabama may or may not have. We don't know, which he's right. It's
kind of up in the air.
We did make the announcement. They did announce an 8-8 date, but it's still so early out. They could cancel it. They could cancel it and say, "Hey, we're doing something else."
And also, that could be A-Day could not look like what we're used to.
It could just look like the field day. Sure. We're watching Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard run 40s and see who's faster. We're gonna bring an obstacle course into Bryant-Denny Stadium and see who can get through it faster.
Which I don't think that's a bad move.
Do the NFL skills competition. Do the Pro Bowl skills competition. Divide the boys up, and we're doing dodgeball in the stadium. Yep. We're doing the obstacle course with all the football and moves. Kind of that was always, to me, the most fun part of Pro Bowl weekend. Growing up as a kid is watching how can the quarterbacks hit the targets downfield. The moving targets. Yeah. They're all great stuff.
I loved when they would make the quarterbacks do the running thing, run through the little athletic. Those were always so funny seeing Mark Bulger trying to run through some drills and get that ball knocked out of his hand. So good.
So that would be great. So Wyatt's kind of playing with the idea that maybe Alabama's not having the spring game, which not out of bounds. I think it's in the air right now. And he says, this would be wrong. We have to have the spring game. We have to have the spring game because this is why. He said because fans, not all, and he's right on this, not all fans can afford tickets to see their team. Not all fans can afford tickets to a real game. Not all fans can afford to get into the stadium. And also with 8A, golly, think about your fans with kids that are 6 and under. Like what a massive hassle it is to get into a real game day. 8A gives you the opportunity to, my 6-year-old can go for 15 minutes, and if they're screaming and crying, we can leave, and we don't feel like we had we just wasted $400 on the family go, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So he's presenting it from the less fortunate fans' perspective. We have to have this, and he says because the athletic department is continually asking for money, continually asking, "Yay, Alabama, donate this, give me NIL that." And he says, "You've got to give them something. You've got to give these people their free game, their free scrimmage to continue the loyalty, reciprocation." Right? You give them the free game, and they give you the money down the line,
a month,
right?
Whatever it is.
And Wyatt, man, you're right in your heart. You are. You're right in my heart.
I agree. I don't. It's just unfortunate.
They don't give a rip about that fan. If you're the fan,
man.
I'm sorry. From what I see, is if you're the fan that can't afford a game day ticket, they don't care about you. Like,
don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yes.
Here's somebody that makes more money.
The we in this case is all of college athletics. It's not just Alabama, but Alabama is included. We're catering to the folks that have money. And if you don't have enough money to donate to the Yay Alabama, I mean, what a terrible reality. It is a terrible reality. But the university has the college system is moving on from them. It is moving on from, dare I say it, the Walmart fan. I know. Look, you guys comment all the time at Joe Gaither 6. You send me phone call, voicemails. Like, I know that not all of you went to the University of Alabama. I know a lot of you did. Great. And if you did, great. If you didn't, great. I don't care. Like, I appreciate you watching the show.
I've never understood the argument of you can't root for a team if you didn't go there. It's very stupid to me.
I've never understood that argument. You can root for whoever you want to, but I do understand it means more to me because I went there for 4 to 6 years.
I am with you on that.
Welcome aboard to the bandwagon. Like,
yes.
This bandwagon, this truck, this fan base.
Got room for everybody.
There is a seat for you.
Yes. No, I'm with you, though. I do think it means more.
But I'm sitting in the front.
Sure. I'm in first class. You can have the coach seat if you didn't come, I guess, No, I do agree with that a little
I'll
bit.
advocate for good movies back there. I'll advocate for good snacks back there.
But you see it like 2 or 3, 4 times a year. Every year it gets brought up on Twitter. Somebody throws that to get some engagement. You should never root for a team you didn't school you didn't go to.
That's
it's
ridiculous.
Insane. Because also,
how many people went to community college wanting to go to a bigger college?
And how many people formed that fanhood before they even were going to school?
Exactly.
I mean, I was an Alabama fan from the time I was 6 years old. Like that was never even in my thought at that point of, I'm going to go there. Like, sure, when the time came, I did eventually, but most people form those connections with a team well before that's even in their mind.
So I do love you, Wyatt Fulton, and I think that your heart is in the right place. And most of the time, I think Wyatt and I's heart kind of align.
Yeah, I think this is what he is saying. I think is the morally correct thing.
It's just not gonna
it's just not gonna happen.
Well, they may still play the spring game, and it still might be free, but the disenfranchised fan, I don't think, is on the radar of the athletic department. I don't think that's bad of them, but I just think that you've got to. The stakes are so high, and the financial implications are so high. Golly, that I think you kind of have to.
I think that's kind of the issue here is do I like that this is happening, and do I think it's a good thing? No, you've heard me. We've talked about it on the show. I hate the way that everything now is just let's maximize profits as much as we can.
Gross.
That is the world that we live in, and the university, the football program, every other team here is operating under that guise, and they have to play in the rules of that system. Unfortunately, this is the way that system goes. They have to maximize profits. They have to kick the fan that can't quite afford things. They kick him to the curb and say, well, you can watch us on your TV on Saturday, buddy. Sorry.
With your ESPN Plus for $11 a month.
Sure.
Because we used to put the spring game on basic cable that anybody had, but now we put the spring game behind a paywall. Bleep you ESPN for that.
Yeah, that's bad.
We're sitting here talking about the fan who can't afford it, but you are just pulling them left and right. I mean, budget.
Fox Nation, we talked about it the other day.
Right. Did you break out your 690? Look, if you're watching the documentary, I want to know all about it because I'm not watching it. I will wait till all 6 episodes. That will be my strategy. I will wait till all 6 episodes are out. I will binge them in a day and a half, and I'll spend 2 days in the summer on the show talking about everything we saw in that documentary.
It's gonna be great. We'll break it down scene by scene.
Jamarcus Shepard getting right in the rear ends of these young wide receivers. Like Jamarcus Shepard head inside the rear ends of these. Yes, that's hyperbole. But golly, he was getting after him.
Yeah. The nickel and diming is just so bad now. And it's just the way it is. I hate it. But they have to do it. Every other team is doing it. And if you're not doing it, you're going to fall behind. And that's the last thing that you can do. You cannot afford to fall behind at all, especially now because everything is moving at a breakneck pace.
So, Mason, you're Kalen DeBoer. Are you having a spring game this year? You're seeing your colleagues. You're seeing. I mean, look, whether he likes Steve Sarkisian or not, that's our boy.
Sure.
That's Alabama. You talk about 2020. Steve Sarkisian is Crimson forever in my book. So he's not doing a spring game, and we respect him.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't give a rip about what Matt Rule does at Nebraska. I do not care. He's worried about poaching. He's worried about, you're going to come in and offer big money to my players. And he's trying to hide whatever talent that he actually has. Probably, you got to hoard that talent at Nebraska. At Texas, he's talking about Sarkisian's excuse was wear and tear. His excuse was give my players a rest. Give my players, we're not going to do a live game because I wear and tear. Now, that might have been the BS media hooey answer. And the real answer is I don't want my players to be poached and tampered with. Mm-hmm. What about Alabama? You're Kalen DeBoer. What do you make of this situation? What do you make of, and how do you assess this with spring practice just on the horizon? You're about out of time to make a decision. Sure. Right now, the decision is spring game is on.
Yeah.
And you only have a couple, about maybe 2 weeks where we can, we're canceling it and get away with it.
I think I would very, very, very seriously consider, like we discussed, actually, some sort of just like fun, nobody's wearing pads or nothing. Maybe everybody's in helmets, just a fun little showcase. Hey, everybody, let's get out here, run some routes, watch the quarterbacks, throw some passes. Maybe you run through, walk through some little fun things. The little skills competition.
Give me
I think
a
is a great
defensive
idea.
lineman tire flip.
There we go. Something like have 2 of them line up to racing down the field, flip, like something like that. Because I do think that the spring game is a bit of an unnecessary injury risk.
It's horrible.
There's not really any value to playing that game. It's not like the players get anything out of it. They've already gotten what they're going to get out of spring from practicing in full contact.
That's for the last
2.5, 3
Keep
weeks.
going.
So it always has been just kind of fan service anyway.
That's a great point.
So I think if you just continue to really steer into that fan service and just say like, hey, everybody, let's just Ryan Williams, receivers versus cornerbacks, dodgeball. It's something like that. I think fans would eat that up. I think you would get a lot of people in there, and I think the people that would go to that would have a lot of fun. Make it a whole thing. You have, big PA. I mean, make it a whole like event, and
get Christian Miller's brother out there to DJ it, just like he does at the basketball game.
And I mean, if you really wanted, to keep it like even more low key, have them do it inside at Coleman.
What you do to this? Brother, we can take this. We can make this event. Call me Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Call me Mark Ingram.
Oh yeah.
Give me some Greg McElroy, Jake Coker, Blake Sims. Just like if you're out of the NFL, but you're still not quite old, and you want to run through a little obstacle course, test yourself with it.
Little 2-hand touch football, old versus young. Ooh.
Yeah, we get
Alabama All-Stars versus this year's team.
Kareem Jackson's still in the league. Golly, what a man.
What's Bo Scarborough up to these days?
Bo would be, yes, yeah. We're bringing Bo in. You're bringing Damian Harrison.
Yeah.
Like, just trigger me some names. What alums? Oh, gosh. Here we go.
This would be good.
For your voicemail line, Here we go. What alums do you want to see in a skills competition with the current Alabama athletes? 205-462-7340, extension 800. We're coming up with a spring game alternative, and we're just brainstorming. This is coming to us right here on the fly. We get some. I mean, these are. I will watch Julio Jones draw. I will watch Julio Jones solve math. Like I will watch Julio Jones do anything that you put on TV. Seriously, we exclude the current NFL guys because we don't want anybody hurt. Right? We don't want any liabilities.
Sure. Yeah, this would be good. This would I think, and you can. It's one day a year, folks. Like you can do this every year.
Right, and think about it. Who's Derrick Henry? Derrick's got another 3, 5, 2 years, whatever. Pick whatever number you like. But the day he retires, it's heck yeah, Derrick. Are you going to come do the spring competition with us this year?
I mean, too, like if you do that,
give me some Eddie Jackson out there right now.
Send all those alumni out there to like sign autographs and stuff, and you can let all the players go back to the locker room. Everybody would be perfectly fine with that.
I bet you can.
And I bet those guys would be pretty happy to interact with some fans.
And I bet you could charge those fans. I bet you those fans, I'll pay $20 to get down to the autograph line.
Absolutely.
To get to the autograph gate to all these little lines.
That's where you make your money, folks.
You get Marcel Darius out there.
Hire us. We are just giving you free ideas.
I think that's a great one. I think we just stumbled on a great one, to be honest with you. Look, you want to scratch my Bears fan itch and tell me that Eddie Jackson's going to be out there trying to intercept Austin Mack just for fun? Yes. Yes. I will be out there in a heartbeat to watch that. And then what else the NFL players who are not eligible because we want to protect you, they're coming to clown their old classmates and to obviously go roll Tide, but they're coming to be like, dang, look, the young guy got you, you stink,
This would be too. It would.
That's why you retired.
It would be so good.
Yeah, Alabama would have content for weeks.
Golly, and they have done a better. I saw yesterday they did another one of their 2025 signee profile.
Great,
good on them. Getting more of these guys talked about a little bit. Getting some more premium content out there. Seems like, but this is your method here. $20 a pop. You get down there for your autographs.
Oh my gosh, how much money is an Alabama fan paying to watch Julio Jones run routes against Antonio Langham?
This would be good.
I mean, it might only be one route because one might embarrass the other, and they might say, "I'm not doing a second round. I'm not." Hey, sure. You pick which side wins. I'm not saying, but you might only get the one.
You don't have to televise this either. You don't have to deal with any of that. Like, I don't think you would televise this. So then you can, in theory, charge a little bit of money. You charge a $15, $20 ticket to get into the event, and then another $15, $20 to go down on the field after and get some autographs.
Right, because ESPN doesn't want that.
No.
But what you could do is
live stream it on Alabama.
Exactly. Your Crimson Tide Productions, who the UA Crimson Tide Productions student side of things, like you've got enough camera people. They're all interning for SEC Network Plus and stuff. Whenever they come in, you got enough people that you can run. And
man, call us up,
Kalen DeBoer. Please
call us up.
We can save you energy. We can save you injury.
Mm-hmm.
We can make you money, and we can And we can prevent tampering.
There we go.
I mean, for you, Kalen DeBoer, preventing tampering first, preventing injury second.
I don't know. Money might be up there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we fixed the spring game.
Yeah, we just solved it for all. I mean, and this. Hey, every team.
We're clipping this to go online for the weekend, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, make every team do this.
205-462-7340, extension 800. Leave us a voicemail. Would you watch that? Are we crazy? I mean, are we just being silly? Would you watch the current players in some sort of a skills competition, some sort of an NFL skills competition with special guests? Special guests, this quarterback, special guest. That quarterback.
Oh yeah, it would be good. I mean, you got plenty. There is There's so many.
You get
players
Bobby
to choose
Humphrey
from.
out there, or, being like, you running backs don't know anything about what I used to do. I mean, who taught Marlon Humphrey how to talk trash? I did. I'm going to talk all kinds of trash to y'all today.
I mean, it would just be so good. You have an endless well of players, names, and faces that people love and would absolutely love to see in some sort of
we
action.
can get Martin
again.
Houston giving the halftime invocation.
There we
Everybody, it'd be great.
This could be a really amazing event, and it would solve so many issues that are there currently without looking like, oh, we gotta fix some problems here. Okay, it would just feel like a new, fresh event. Everybody would be super excited about it. I don't think anyone would view this as they took away the spring game. I think people would just be stoked that this was happening.
Are people really wanting to see a spring game with an Ajayi Hall performance, fall in love with the kid, and just see them just tailspin out? I mean, look, sorry, Ajayi, that's not a personal shot, buddy, but you did. You tailspun out. Like,
hey, Sacramento State, he's gonna go off this year.
Spring game is just, I mean, Mac Jones won spring game MVP twice. It was meaningless. Now, granted, the young man had a great 2020 season. Awesome. I know John Mechie was spring game MVP 1 year and didn't break out for another 2 seasons. Like, it does not matter. What was it, 2 years ago? Oh, my gosh, time runs all together now. It must be 3. But where Paul Tyson had a pretty decent little day, and, maybe Paul Tyson's going to be the quarterback. Like, it just serves, like, for you and me, Mason, awesome. We get 2 hours worth of content to break down frame by frame by frame and be like, well, is this player going to be an all-pro, all-NCAA, all-American?
Yeah.
It's like,
but at the end of the day,
Ajayi Hall is not going to be an all-American. Like,
I still believe.
Don't fall for 2 hours of like the sample size is nothing.
And what you are seeing is such a watered down version of what this Alabama team wants to do. Like, if you are even if you are seeing a really nice play here and there, like, they want you to see that play. That's what they wanted you. That was just like, here's just a little bit to tide you over. And it wasn't, there's a reason that you didn't see Ryan Williams catching all the bombs in the spring game last year.
He wasn't enrolled.
Duh.
Yeah, he wasn't enrolled. He came in the summer.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? But anyways, it's still that.
Caleb Odom?
Sure, it's still that same.
No,
point.
Jeremy Bernard?
There's a reason that, it's not it's always like, who's that guy?
It was Jam Miller run into the back of the offensive lineman and get tackled for 4 yards. And nothing on you, Jam. I'm just saying it was such a simple. We just want to get out of here without hurting anybody.
Plays, make some folks happy and go home.
Terrible. All right, we fixed the spring game. You need to call 205-462-7340, extension 800. Would you go to a skills competition? Do you want to see a skills competition? You can fix the spring game. And what former Alabama player would you want to see special guesting at the skills competition?
I'd like to see one of those like big inflatable obstacle courses, have them run through it. That'd be good.
Perfect. Exactly. We're live here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. You can call 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel and his team are there. We appreciate Derek for putting us on each and every day right here off of McFarland Boulevard. We're just past the Tiger Rock, right past the Rustic Rehab to the left. Beautiful little building. You can pull right in. Red, Reese, and Victoria will be happy to talk to you. They're some of the nicest people. Every time I run into Red upstairs, I'm just like, man, you're too nice. You're too nice. So they're waiting to talk to you right now. 205-758-3391. I know tax season, everybody goes through their finances, tries to get it all right, tries to make sure, I'm spending too much money there. Don't like what I'm getting here. State Farm, Derek Daniel, they can help you work through your insurance finances, try to save you some money, get you better coverage, make sure you're prepared for the next emergency that happens in your life. Unfortunately, there will be one coming. So make sure you have the right insurance. Derek Daniel and his team can do that for you at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. So call and see how much Derek can save you today. All right, Mason Woods, we've had a lot of fun on the program today. We've only got about 15 minutes left. I'll save the basketball a little bit for all things Bama. How about that?
We can get into-
You got a good enough rundown? Because I don't want.
so.
All right, I don't want to burn any of your topics here. I want to. I want to talk about stupidity. I want to talk about stupidity on social media.
I really thought we were done with this.
Oh, yeah. Did we not learn our lesson?
And I don't even know if you quite made it to this bowels of, online. But after the man did the bad things with the frozen burrito, I thought we were done with this. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
No, I did not see that one.
That was the last I had seen of this trend of if blank team loses again, I will do insert horrible thing. I thought we were done because that guy really took it over the top and didn't come back.
Like, it's very obvious I'm doing this so my follower count will go up, so you'll retweet me and think, shock value. Like, this is the old Jackass trend, but Jackass was somewhat controlled a little bit. On the internet, there's no one to, hey, man, I'm your TV producer on Jackass. I'm going to say, hey, I don't know about this stunt. I don't know if you should be doing that one. There's no one to oh my God. If you don't live online, that's okay. You're better. You're better off than I am.
Better than I am.
What is this? Boars Burner? How's that?
The Boars Burner.
Is that how it is? Boars Burner. Boars Burner. Is that right?
Kalen DeBoer's secret Twitter account that we all know.
Yeah. If we lose Wednesday, this is February 17th, and this joker has it pinned because he's just doing this for attention. And here we are giving the attention, but it's just ridiculous. If we lose Wednesday, I will eat the crap for real. But if we win, I'm not doing it. If we lose to Auburn again in March, I'll also for real do it. Basically, he is tweeting. I mean, this is just a burner account, which first off, I despise the entire burnerverse.
Yeah.
I despise all of it. You put something online under a pseudonym because you're
too afraid to say it under your real name.
You're putting something online that's either really vile or really whatever. Take it to the extreme, and you didn't want to say that under your own name. So what you're saying is inappropriate, is wrong to whatever degree. Use your daggum real name or don't say it at all. Basically, does the whole Florida State trick. Oh, if we lose, I'm going to eat dog crap. And Alabama lost to Auburn. Didn't eat the dog crap. Said the same thing. Oh, if Alabama loses to Missouri, I'm going to eat the dog crap. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. What? It doesn't compute with me, Mason. It does not compute with me in my brain. Like,
he's got to eat the crap. He's got to eat.
You do now.
You have to eat the poop now. You've backed yourself into a corner. You have to eat poop. You have cursed the Crimson Tide. You have turned the fan base against you. You have to eat the poop. He has to eat the poop.
Especially if you look.
Like, he's made such a spectacle of this now. You've gotten all your followers. You've gotten all your likes. You've got us sitting here talking about you. I don't even know who you are. You have to eat the damn poop. Save this season. There's still a Final Four run in this team. But until he eats the poop.
Are they going to lose again?
They're going to lose every game. They're going to lose the next 5 games. They're cursed.
Cursed into playing poopy defense? Not good. Don't I have I think I have a button here for that, don't I?
They're just
that one says rim shot. What does this one say? That's what I wanted. That's the one I wanted.
You have to do it. The Florida State guy did it. The other gentleman I talked about with the frozen burrito did what he said he would do, which I'm not going to rehab.
I think I do remember what
it was bad.
Yeah. Don't look that up. Do not look that up on your work
computer.
Searching
that
one. Don't. Just take our word. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. But he did it, and he saved his team from the curse. You put these things out, you have to fulfill them.
Right. Like, why do you do, like, it just does not give, like, the level.
It's so lame. It's so lame. Because, like, you mentioned Jackass, like, they did it. They would say these stupid, horrible, but then, damn it,
followed through.
You tuned into MTV, and they were doing the most horrible, vile things you could see, and it was hilarious. You got to do it, Boris Burner.
It does not compute with me, like, why you would put this out into the ether at all.
I don't know.
And like, okay, because we just danced around it. It's all about clout. It's all about he's trying to gain 1,500 followers, 100 followers, whatever. Okay.
But then what?
Right. You know what I've been thinking this whole week, Mason? I've been thinking, I wonder what happens to my Twitter account if I go every day, just one time a day, I love Elon Musk tweet. Right. Or Elon Musk is the best tweet, period, tweet. It's just something simple. Right. But I can't bring myself to do it because I don't believe it, and I don't want to deal with the.
I do not love Elon Musk,
right? And I don't want, but like I also don't want to tweet every day. I hate Elon Musk because I think the opposite. Like I think that's how the social media is. Worse. You're obviously seeing lots of people do lots of things just for clout, just for fame, just for I'm going to get 100 more followers. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, no.
I want to. I want to. I definitely, it's in my heart to, well, if you just say, okay, Alabama needs to fire Kalen DeBoer and clip it and put it on the internet, then of course people are,
gonna get fired up about it.
Right. And we get, but like, I don't believe that Alabama needs to fire Kalen DeBoer. So why would I just bastardize myself by, you're literally, I'm not. You're not going to eat the dog poop. You know that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm not eating. There are things that I know I'm not eating. I'm not as picky of an eater as I was as a 12-year-old, but still not like everything going in my mouth. Especially dog doo-doo, not going in my. So why are you putting it online? Especially. Look, we all knew last Saturday was a game that could be lost. We all knew that Wednesday was a game that could be lost. It's not like you said, if Alabama loses to Drexel, then I'll eat the dog poop.
I wonder if you said this when, Alabama was losing to Vanderbilt. Probably said the same
Is
thing.
that what this is? Is this just like a callback?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Get off my timeline.
It was,
this person follows me, Mason.
I'll give it to it was funny, the Florida State guy. That was a funny saga. The entire internet turning its attention toward one fan and ridiculing him into literally eating at least what appeared to be some dog poop. That was pretty funny.
This is terrible. Look at this bio. Obviously, it's fake. This bio. The best college football coach in America's burner account. Roll Tide. # fire Nick Sheridan. # Lank. Jesus is king. **, not the real KDB. None of that jives to me. I'm sorry. Like, none of this jives. All right. First, we're very clearly, the first sentence, we're pretending to be actually KDB. And, of course, Roll Tide. Fine. Whatever. Roll Tide. # fire Nick Sheridan.
Not going to happen, buddy.
Lank, # whatever. Great. No problem. And then Jesus is king. I mean, I agree. Jesus is king. But you're doing a good job representing, buddy.
Yeah, man. I hate this. I hate social media so much. I spend so much time on it. I am consumed by it, but man, I hate it so much.
So eat the daggum dog poop today.
Eat it and post it. And then don't talk anymore on the internet.
We're definitely coming to your door. We're doxing you over the weekend. We're finding out who you are if Alabama loses to Kentucky. That's where we probably need to finish for today. Alabama and Kentucky tomorrow. We're at what, 5:00, aren't we? Yeah, we're 5 o'clock tomorrow. Gamecast. Let me click on that. No line quite yet because that's a big pet peeve of mine for college basketball. We're only going to put lines out about 24 hours ahead of time.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's for injury and all kinds of jazz. But Alabama, you beat Kentucky up there. You got a 70.4% chance to win, according to ESPN Analytics. We're going to talk about more of the basketball on All Things Bama, so we don't need to dive too much into this, Mason. But as we leave the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central for the week, let's leave the people with a thought or two on the hoops. Keys to tomorrow. I mean,
don't turn the ball over.
I don't even care about that. Have some heart.
Yeah.
Defensively.
Just show some fight.
Because you turned the ball over 14 times on Wednesday, which is still 2 over our number.
But it's really not that bad comparatively.
You scored 98 points.
Yeah.
You literally did not have a pulse on defense, and that's why you lost. So that's that's the only thing I'm looking for. I don't give a rip about the offense right now. Because the offense, people can complain, too many threes this, or this person's taking too many shots that, or turnovers this. I don't even care. Because what we have seen from Nate Oates over 5 years now is that the offense will take care of itself. Pretty much always. It's the defense. Will you defend? Will you play the other side of the ball, Alabama? That's the only question I have on Saturday. Alabama didn't even take off from Missouri until midday yesterday.
Yeah, saw that. Got snowed in, I guess.
Ooh, will that short turnaround bite you in the butt? Or are these are young, pristine athletes who do not care about that? Mason, what are you thinking about tomorrow?
I think you saying, will you play defense is the distinction of will you play defense and can you play defense? And you do have to ask this team, will you play defense? Because we know they can. It's just whether or not they choose to do it, which is what the most frustrating thing continues to be the most frustrating thing. We know it's there. We see it in spurts. You just can't string it together. So that's what I need to see, to give me any sort of confidence in this team moving through this last 5-game stretch of the year. Show me some life. That would be good. I don't feel overly great about it. That Missouri game was pretty bad. They're going to have to, show me at this point to make me believe in them again.
We do need to credit Missouri has a great offense.
Yeah.
Really, really good offense. And Kentucky does as well, by the way, guys. Kentucky doesn't defend as well. Okay, they're coming on the road. Didn't they just win?
I think so.
Didn't
they beat the brakes off of Andy, didn't they?
Yes. That's what I wrote on Wednesday night. They beat them by 20. It was
it was close for a little bit though, wasn't it?
1-point game at halftime, and then it was 41-21 in the second half. Yeah. So they beat the brakes off them for sure. So they're coming into town with a little bit of confidence. Oh my mercy, Mason. I do think that Alabama bounces back at home. I think Nate Oates probably hasn't slept since Wednesday. Is a guess, just a guess. We'll go. We like 94. I like 94. I like 94-87.
I'm gonna say they get that 100 mark. 102-96.
Yeah, bad defense for both of our predictions. I like that. I think that's going to be about right. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, you can check it out. We'll have coverage from inside Coleman Coliseum. Katie Wyndham, Hunter DeCiver, and Will Miller will be writing for BamaCentral.com. We're going to probably get out of here for the day. We're going to wrap it right up right here. We're going to turn it over. We're going to have an episode of All Things Bama recording in just a few minutes. Not going to be on the live socials, as you know, but you can check out All Things Bama on all of your podcast platforms. We encourage you guys to download, rate, review the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. Call 205-462-7340, extension 800. To leave us a voicemail over the weekend. We want your voicemails on the spring game. We definitely want that. We definitely want your voicemail reactions for basketball. Let us know what this team needs to do to bounce back against Kentucky. And obviously, call us during the Kentucky game, after the Kentucky game. Get your thoughts, your reactions to the Kentucky game on that voicemail line. 205-462-7340, extension 800 to be a part of the show. We'll get out of here for the day. We'll talk to you again on Monday, 8 a.m. Special guest co-host on Monday. Oh, man, who's that going to be? We'll find out all together on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.